These lights don't make me look big. I'm just kidding. Today I just want to get the last video of the blueprint. We're about to finish this. I want to get this done because I am about to move, like I said, and I just want to get these videos out of the way for you guys, whoever is interested in learning how to trade. But again, this information is the stuff that I've absorbed over the past 6 years. I'm trying to explain it to you guys in the best ways possible, the way that I learned, and also in the dumbest down version ways possible, if that makes sense. There's many people who teach these strategies and stuff like that. I'm not the one who invented this stuff. It's just ICT stuff. I just think I'm good with the psychology, the emotions part, and also how to use this stuff really well. Over time, again, I tried to put all the stuff that I've learned over the past 6 years into these slides for you guys. I'm going to make a part 2 in the future because this is the beginning stages of my YouTube. These videos are slowly getting better as you go on. If you go to my first video, it was fucking terrible. If you go to this video now, it's probably a little bit better than before with the quality, with the microphone, and even without me talking and teaching. So I will make a part 2 in the future. I think the part 2, we're going to make 20 videos, and we'll do a step-by-step on how to put all this stuff together. But for the last video here, I wanted to make a video on if I were starting day trading from zero using the MastroFutures trading blueprint, the information that I've already taught you guys, and you can go back and watch them. I watched them in order to. I numbered them from 1 to 10, and I just wanted to end this slide on just what I would do with this information, how I would go about it, and how I would try to become a profitable trader in the future with the information that I was given from the MastroFutures trading blueprint. So we will go to the next slide. So first thing I would start with, guys, is psychology. Before you learn any strategy, you need to master your mindset. Trading is a mental game first, and without emotional control, even the best setups will fail you. Consistency matters more than perfection, and the goal isn't to win every trade. It's to follow your plan with discipline and show up every day ready to improve. Build a routine that supports you. Solid sleep, nutrition, journaling, and regular reviews. These habits create mental clarity, which leads to better decisions. The reason why I did the fitness stuff in the Discord, I could have started something completely separate with the fitness. I've always been into fitness. I've been working out for about maybe lifting weights for probably 15 years. I've been wrestling. Well, I was wrestling for around 17 years. So I've been around working out. I know how to work out. I'm very good with that. It's always been a passion of mine with lifting. So I wanted to incorporate that into the Discord. Again, it's free. Just click the link in the bio. And I post my workouts, my nutrition, because I feel like when you guys are living a healthy lifestyle, doing the right things, working out, all that stuff in the real world, that's going to also show in your trading. I feel like if you're living an unhealthy lifestyle in trading, you're just going out partying, having fun, doing stupid stuff, not making smart decisions in life, I just feel like trading is not going to be for you because it's going to show in your trading. Trading really brings out the person you really are and what you do in your daily habits. And when you have to follow your rules, your strategy, your psychology, and just do that every day and be the best you can every day, I just feel like when you're being not a bad person, I would say, just not doing the right things outside of trading, you're not going to do the right things inside of trading. So understand that losses aren't failures, they're data. Each one is a lesson that helps you refine your edge. The key is to stay detached from outcomes and focus on execution over results. Emotional traps like revenge trading, FOMO, or flipping your strategy mid-session will kill your consistency. Great traders don't react, they review, adapt, and stay patient. You'll never trade your edge if you can't manage your emotions. I had an example on yesterday's video. Yesterday I was a little emotional when I was trading. I moved my stop loss down instead of keeping it at the same spot before my first take profit hit. And I literally got stop hunted, and literally 2-3 ticks I got stopped out by, and then the full trade ended up playing out. I lost around, I think, $350 per account that day, which is not bad. But I could have made around $1,200 per account, which would have been nice, and it is what it is. But at the end of the day, I went back, I learned from it, and I posted that in the Discord. I showed people what I did, how my emotions were, what I'm going to do to fix it. I was truthful and honest. That's why I created this Discord. Everything I do, I post my losses, my wins, everything. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We just go and we fix the problem and go from there. But second thing I would do is learn market structure. So I made a market structure video for you guys. There's also many of them on YouTube if you want to go and watch them. I'm going to make better versions of market structure again. I went back and watched my video, and there's more I could teach. There's always more I could learn and teach, and I'm going to try my best in the upcoming videos, especially when I move. I'm going full in on with this content stuff, and I'm going to dedicate a lot of time to the content trading, and in general, I dedicate a lot of time to trading. It's one of my biggest passions. And then I'll be getting more on Instagram, YouTube. Maybe I'll start TikTok. We'll see. Snapchat. Who knows? I'm going to try and get as much as I can on social media so we can grow that stuff and help you guys learn. So before placing any trade, you need to understand how price is moving, whether it's trending or ranging. A trending market creates clear higher high. Holy shit. Excuse me. Remember, I got dyslexia. I'm a little retarded. Creates clear higher highs and higher lows in an uptrend, or lower highs and lower lows in a downtrend. When these patterns break, it's signals of a possible shift in direction. So reading structure helps you identify key swing points where reversals or continuations are likely to happen. Think of market structure like a map. It tells you where price has been and gives clues about where it might go next. Without reading it first, you're entering trades blindly and knowing the difference between impulsive moves and pullbacks, or when price is consolidating versus expanding, gives you clarity and precision. Structure always comes first. It sets the stage from your entries and exits and bias. So number 2, I'd go back, learn market structure. And you guys got to remember, I'll honestly just bring this up at the end, but you guys should be demo trading for at least a year. And you want to prove that you're profitable on a demo account for at least 3 months. You can get a Google Sheet or whatever they're called. There's different websites and stuff, but I think they charge money. Or there's stuff with your broker you could use, and you can put down how much you make a day, how many trades you took, what your emotions were, and you got to be fully honest with yourself. And if you can become profitable over a 3-month span of being on a demo account, let's say like you've been trading on a demo account for a year, and then you prove you're profitable over 3 or 4 months, then I would recommend hopping into a live account, or honestly, I'd recommend hopping into a prop firm account, testing out those waters first, and then hopping into a live account, because the rules and everything, and just see how it is getting into the live market. Because once you start risking real money, that's when the emotions and the psychology is going to start coming into play. So we'll go to the next step. I would learn breaker structure. I taught you guys that also, and I'll be making more videos again in the future about it. Breaker structure is your confirmation that the market has shifted direction. When price breaks a previous high or low that was holding the trend, it signals a change in control. Buyers taking over from sellers or vice versa. So understanding the difference between breaker structure, the true shift in the trend, and a change of character, it's an early signal, helps you avoid fake outs and align your trades with the new momentum. So you guys don't know the difference between a breaker structure and a change of character. I didn't go over a change of character because I don't use that much, but I can make a video on that if you guys want. If you guys always want me to make a video, remember, you can DM me on Instagram, you can comment on my Instagram posts, or you can comment on the YouTube with any requests you guys have, and I'll make those videos for you on the way that I trade. So if you guys are watching me live in the Discord and you have a question on what I was doing, how I got those confluences, why I took that trade, just ask me the question in the comments, and I can answer that stuff for you guys or make videos about it. But a breaker structure becomes even more powerful when combined with the confluences like liquidity, which I taught you guys, fair value gaps, equilibrium, which is premium and discounted zones, and it gives you the green light to look for entries in the new direction rather than guessing or forcing trades. So a breaker structure tells you the game has changed, and now it's your job to trade accordingly. So number 3, what I would learn is breaker structure. I would get that down, go back test all of these by themselves, and every time, so let's say you're trying to learn breaker structure, focus only on that. Go back and back test it as much as you can until you could look at the live markets and see it and identify it, and it's not a problem. It just becomes normal to you. Then you move on to the next thing. So we'll go to number 4. I would learn liquidity. So liquidity is what drives the market. Institutions and smart money don't just enter anywhere. They hunt liquidity first. Liquidity lives above equal highs, below equal lows, and around obvious support and resistance levels where retail traders tend to place their stop losses. These areas act like magnets, drawing price in before major moves happen. Understanding where liquidity rests helps you predict where price is likely to go next and avoid getting tapped into the process. Rather than chasing price, you want to think like the smart money. Liquidity sweeps are often followed by strong reversals or breakouts. Combine this concept with structure and breaker structure to help build setup that move with intention. The market isn't random. It moves from one pool of liquidity to the next. Spot the traps, and you'll start trading with the big players, not against them. So this is the way I trade. I look for liquidity zones. I always mark out my high time frame liquidity or my lower time frame liquidity. I'll look for reactions off these areas, and then I'll use the confluences that I literally taught you guys to look for entries, set my take profit, my stop loss, and then we see if the trade plays out. So next thing I would learn is fair value gaps and inverse fair value gaps. But first I would just focus on fair value gaps. But I taught both of them to you guys. I also have a video that I did before the MastroFutures trading blueprint, if you guys want to go back and watch that also. But number 5, I would learn how to look at to identify fair value gaps and how to use them. These are really good with if you pair it with a liquidity sweep, break a structure, fair value gap fill, boom, entry. These ones are really good, and I'm going to make a video on that for you guys and go in depth with it in the future also. Remember, we're just starting off with the YouTube. I'm trying to get as many videos up as I can, and I'm also moving right now, so I'm trying to get all this stuff up first, get this finished, and then once I'm in the location I'm in, I'll be posting a lot for you guys. So number 5, fair value gaps are imbalances in price where the market moved too quickly, leaving behind unfilled space between candles. These gaps often act as magnets. Price tends to return to them before continuing in the original direction. Institutional fair value gaps. No, institutional. Holy shit. Why did I put institutional fair value gaps? All right, mark that out. It's not institutional fair value gaps. I don't know why the hell I put that. It's inverse fair value gaps. Are a sign of aversion found in specific zones with clear structure. Both are powerful tools for spotting potential entries, exits, areas, and reactions. Skip that part. Don't even read that part. I don't know why I put institutional fair value gaps. It's just freaking stupid. Hold on. We're going to fix that. Don't even pay attention to this. We're just gonna X this out. Okay. Sorry, I made this slide very early in the morning. It was like 3 a.m. So. Alright, ignore that. Don't worry about fucking inverse fair value gaps. Just focus on learning fair value gaps first, and then go back and watch the videos of my inverse fair value gaps so you guys can learn that. So, fair value gaps show where smart money might be reloading positions. When combined with break of structure and liquidity and equilibrium, they create high probability setups, and you don't want to trade just because price is moving. You want to enter at points of imbalances where the risk to reward is in your favor. Fair value gaps help you do that with precision. They're not just gaps, they're opportunities. So remember, guys, you don't just see a fair value gap, see price come into it and react off of it and enter a trade blindly and think price is going to go in that direction. Yeah, it might go in that direction, but you guys got to pair the fair value gaps with other confluences, like I said, liquidity, break of structure, equilibrium. You guys got to pair these all together. Start from the higher time frame, work down to the lower time frames, find your entry, enter, and then see if the trade plays out. Oh my God, where's number 6? That's crazy. All right, next thing I would have you guys learn is understanding equilibrium. These are the discounted zones. I have a video on this also. I think that's video number 8. So understanding premium and discounted zones is the key to trading with precision. Price is always moving between two extremes, premium and discounted. So when price is in a premium zone, it's more favorable to look for shorts. When price is in a discount, you're looking for longs. You can use tools like the Fibonacci retracement, especially the 50% line, to identify the equilibrium, helping you avoid chasing price instead of waiting for entries where risk is minimized and reward potential is high. So I'm going to make a video on all the tools I made. I had a class yesterday for one of my students. I taught him everything with TradingView. I'll go over all my TradingView tools. I usually use the GAM box, I think it's called. I don't use the Fibonacci. And I have the custom settings in there. I'll go over that video in the future, and you guys can copy all my settings if you'd like. But I usually use the GAM box, but you can use Fibonacci also. I know a lot of people use the Fibonacci tool, but either or, whatever's best for you. And equilibrium keeps you from buying at the top or selling at the bottom. It aligns perfectly with the structure, liquidity, and fair value gaps. When all those line up within a premium or discounted zone, you have a high probability trade. Trading from equilibrium isn't about being perfect. It's about placing yourself in a position of strength where the market is more likely to reward your patience and planning. So for an example, guys, if you see a liquidity sweep, then we scale down, see a break of structure, then a retracement, then we scale down even lower, and we see a fair value gap with equilibrium, and price comes up and respects both of them. That is an A+ setup for me. I usually take that every single time. And then you put your stop where equilibrium gets invalidated, and then your take profits of where your where like your 15-minute lows or your high time frame sell side liquidity is going to be lying. Number 8, I would learn daily bias. I made a video about this. This was video number 9. Daily bias is your directional game plan for the day. Before you take any trade, you need to ask, am I bullish, bearish, or neutral? This decision is built using higher time frame structure, premier discounted zones, liquidity targets, and confluences like break of structure and fair value gaps. Your bias helps you filter out noise and keep you focused only on the setup that align with the overall direction you've identified. So the goal of having a daily bias isn't to be right 100% of the time, is to have a structured approach that reduces confusion and emotional trading. It's your compass, and without a bias, you're reacting blindly. With one, you're trading with purpose. The best traders don't force trades. They wait for the market to come to them in line with their bias. Remember this little 2 sentences right here. All right? With your daily bias, it's literally like a map, and it shows you guys what you should and shouldn't do. If your daily bias is bearish and you see a bullish setup, you should not be taking a bullish setup because your bias is bearish. If the higher time frames are bearish and you see a bullish setup, that helps you just from randomly entering a bullish setup because you don't know which way the market's going to go to say, I most likely shouldn't take this trade because my high time frame bias is bearish, so I'm going to most likely sit out because price could reverse to the downside here, and it's probably not a likely trade that's going to hit. So having a daily bias helps you to prevent losses. It helps to show you what trades are in your favor, and it helps just give you an overall map of what you should be looking for, what reactions you should be looking for off of what what liquidity zones. And I just think if you're not trading with a daily bias, you're trading blindly. It's not a good idea. Go back and watch that video. There's many other videos too on YouTube if you want to watch them, if mine doesn't make sense. But daily bias is one of the most important things that helped me start becoming profitable, because at first I was trading without a daily bias. I was just going down, looking in the smaller time frames, looking for fair value gaps, blah, blah, blah. That was about 3 years ago. And then I was always losing trades. And sometimes I'd get lucky, but most of the time in the longevity of it, I would always be losing trades. But then once I started using daily bias and getting better at it, I started becoming better. I would sit out more on trades. I wouldn't trade every single day if my bias didn't align. And when my bias did align, I hit perfect trades. I hit big trades. And it started working out more in my favor. So I definitely recommend learning daily bias. So how all this comes together, now that you understand the key concepts, so you have structure, break of structure, liquidity, fair value gaps, equilibrium, and daily bias. The real power comes from putting them together. Each day you should start with a simple routine. Analyze the higher time frame, identify liquidity targets, mark premium and discounted zones, look for fair value gaps, and form your bias. Once that is in place, you wait for your clean break of structure or change in character on the lower time frame to trigger your entry. The process turns trading from guesswork into a system. You're no longer chasing price, you're waiting for confirmation, confluence, and clarity. Over time, this structure creates consistency, and you're not relying on luck or signals. You're building a real skill, and trading is like a puzzle, and now you've got to put the pieces together. You just have to put them together every day with patience and discipline. So this is what I'm saying, you guys should start on a demo account. You should have no emotion. You should know what trades you're taking. Like I was teaching another one of my students the other day, and he took a trade, and I literally texted him and I said, what confluences did you see? Why did you take that trade? What setup did you see? What was your bias, and how come it worked out into your bias? And then he was a little bit like, I don't know, I just saw a fair value gap and I saw it react off of it, and then I took my trade, and it was at a random time also. So it's like, you guys got to line this up with the New York session, London session, Asian session. Those are the time frames where there's the most volatility. Instead of just trading randomly on any time of looking for fair value gaps or inverse fair value gaps or break of structure or liquidity sweeps, you guys want to You guys want to trade these at certain times. You want to align them with your high time frame bias with your lower time frame bias, and you want to know exactly why you're taking the trade. So it's not like you just randomly place a trade and win a trade and be all happy and joyful. No, you guys got to, every time you win a trade or lose a trade, you go back, you journal, you explain your emotions, you explain what you saw, what your daily bias was, what happened. Like you could say, all right, we were bearish on the 4 hour and the 1 hour, so my bias today is going to be bearish. So you scale down to the lower time frames, you mark out your draws and liquidity, your higher time frame ones, and then let's say price comes up, sweeps out buy side liquidity, right? Boom, we're about to look for a setup. So we write down in our journal, price swept a 4 hour high, then we ended up breaking structure on the 5 minute to the downside, then we had our retracement. I scaled down into the 1 minute time frame, I saw a fair value gap and equilibrium, price came up to the fair value gap and equilibrium, ended up respecting both of them, showing selling pressure to the downside. I entered, I put my stop loss where equilibrium gets invalidated, and then I put my take profit where I had my 1 hour low and my 4 hour low. My first take profit was my 1 hour low. Once it hit first take profit, I put my stop loss to break even, and then I let the runners run to the 4 hour low and ended up hitting full take profit. So when you can explain the trade that you took and why you took it, your emotions, what you saw, what you didn't see, why you didn't take the trade, you guys got to write all that stuff down, all the confluences you used, how the market reacted. You'll start to become a better trader over time, and you'll start to just be able to do this just naturally. And it's just like, you see what happens. If you don't see it, you don't take a trade, you wait to the next day, there's always going to be another opportunity, and then you just keep building and building and building and getting better every single day with back testing as much as you can. And then once you're ready and you can prove you're profitable over a certain amount of time, and then it's time to get to work. So last thing, I think this is the last one, right? Yep. So if I were to start from zero, I get a lot of people asking me this question. What I would do if I had to start all over again, I wouldn't chase indicators or look for secret strategy. I looked for indicators for about a year, so I wasted about a year of my time. I always thought indicators were going to work. Maybe they work for other people, but every time I tried to use them, they weren't working for me. I'd personally build my foundation around the concept I taught you guys and learn. You guys can go do research on them if you'd like, if you don't like them, but personally with me, I learned best when I first came across this stuff, and it's like my eyes opened up when I first started learning it, and trading started to become a lot better for me, and I've started to actually start making money, and instead of just blindly entering trades and doing stupid stuff. But I would just worry about your mindset, market structure, liquidity, breaker structure, fair value gaps, equilibrium, and daily bias. I'd master one concept at a time, back test every setup, journal everything you do, and focus on being consistent, not perfect. And the truth is, with profitable trading, it's not about finding magic. It's about building a system, trusting your process, and leveling up daily. If you stick to this blueprint and stay patient and put the reps in, you'll separate yourself from 95% of the traders out there. So, I mean, if I were you guys, I would just focus on one strategy right now. If you're just getting started, test it out for a year or two and just don't give up on it. Do as much research as you can on it. Like I said, I gave you guys a lot of stuff that I use every single day when I trade, and it works for me. But we got to remember here, just because I give you guys the tools doesn't mean you guys are going to become profitable. You guys have to actually put in the work. Only way I can explain this is I was a wrestler for 17 years. You could teach somebody moves and teach them what wrestling is and how to wrestle and all that stuff, but you will not be a good wrestler if you step on the mat and try and wrestle somebody who's on a Division I level, who's been training their ass off all summer, working out, going through season, everything, and then you just step on the mat and you know the moves and if you learned them, you've watched them, you studied them, but if you never stepped on the mat, put in the reps, tried to actually participate in the sport instead of just saying, oh, I know this, I'm probably going to win. No, it'll never work. It's the same thing with trading. It's the same thing with everything else in life. You guys got to put in the reps. You guys got to learn how to control your mindset in trading. Psychology, risk management, and emotions is very tough, and that's why I think 95% of people fail. But I think the easiest part in trading is learning the strategy and the concepts. The hard part is when you guys start taking trades and risking real money and learning that your psychology is going to play games with you, when to sit out, when to not take trades, when to not be greedy, when to let, like if you take a loss, when to just leave and know that the markets are not in your favor right now. There's a lot of stuff that ties into this stuff. I could give you guys the tools, which I did, and I'm going to give you even more in the future. But you guys got to remember, you got to go back and test this stuff for hours and hours and hours. I was literally talking to my girlfriend the other day, and it's like the past year and a half of who I was as a trader before to who I am now, even a couple months ago, of just like, it's like for years and years and years, I did this stuff for 6 years, guys, and it's just, it didn't work for a while. I'll be honest. I was losing a lot of money. I made a lot of money. Then I lost the money. Like, it's just like I had a lot of ups and downs in this game. I've been ripped off. I've been scammed. People have taken my money. I've invested in the courses, lost money because nobody taught me anything. I've invested in other courses, and I've learned a lot, and I think it was a good decision because I think it's great to invest in yourself with the education, but I don't know. I've been through it with the trading stuff. That's why I feel like I'm experienced enough to talk to you guys and show you how I trade and all the confluences I use and what I've learned, because over time, once you guys learn the right stuff and you put the time in, like I said, I was talking to my girlfriend, and I was like, how come all of a sudden I'm getting way better at trading? Like, this stuff feels fake. And she's like, you've studied for hours and hours. You've lost sleep. I would literally study from all night, go to practice for wrestling, be exhausted, come back, literally not do my homework, nothing with school. Like, I wouldn't even do school. I would just submit stuff and just literally just didn't care about the grade, and then I just focused on trading. Like, I spent so much time, even when I worked my job at a zoo, I literally would work at the zoo for like 7 to 8 hours, come back home, study all night, get like 2 hours of sleep, and then go back to work and save up money for trading. But it's like all those little hard days of just putting in effort and time and thinking, oh, what if this never works? All that stuff started to build up, like the little things built up over time, and you don't notice them until it actually starts to work because you're so used to just being in that process of building yourself and nothing working, and then all of a sudden, all the puzzle pieces start coming together. So, me personally, guys, I would just go back, tell myself that stick to one strategy, learn one thing if I had these tools, and just study and study and study and study and study until you guys can just look at the markets, see what's happening, know what's happening, when to trade, when to not, and everything just starts to come together. I feel like if you don't give up and you guys give this a couple years, it's very possible for anybody to do this stuff. Again, I'm not where I want to be yet. I'm not even close where I even want to be yet. I make enough to just replace a job right now, which is totally fine with me. But the goal is to become one of the top traders on social media and in the world. Like all these top people you see, that is the goal. I got time to grow. Remember, I'm just starting with this YouTube, and I literally quit my sport a year ago to go full in on this stuff because I saw the potential I've had, even when I was doing my sport, of just making a little bit of money. And I just love doing this way more than the sport I was doing. So I fully dedicated this about a year ago, and I feel like just even this past year I've grown a crazy amount. I can't imagine what 2-3 years can bring. So I truly believe if anybody tries this and puts in the time and the effort and wants to really dedicate everything to this, I'm not saying you quit your job or do anything. You study it on the side right now. Start making a little bit of money, and once you prove you're profitable and you have enough money saved up, maybe go all in on it. But that's your decision. With me, this is something I've always wanted to do since I was around like 16 years old. It's just, I love waking up doing this stuff every day. It's an important thing for me, and I really, truly believe, give me 2-3 years, guys, we'll look back on these videos. I'm going to be making a shit ton of money off this stuff, and it's just going to be crazy to even think about. So I don't know. You guys have the social stuff right here. You got my Instagram, my YouTube. If you guys want to contact me, you can always DM me, comment, whatever you guys want to do. You can join the Discord for free. Again, it is free. You get lifetime access while it is free. I'm not going to be making it a paid program anytime soon, but one day it will be. So I'd recommend getting in as quick as possible. Come watch me trade live. Come join the community. We have a lot of good people in there. A lot of people who want to trade, and I want to keep growing that as much as possible. But yeah, hopefully you guys learned a lot from this video. If you guys are really wanting to get into trading, trust me, over time it works. It's not going to work right away. Everybody thinks this is a get-rich-quick scheme, and it really is not. This is one of the most difficult things I've ever done in my life, and I just I also think it's one of the coolest things to do and have as a job. So it's just a different world. But hopefully you guys enjoy the content. I'm going to keep trying to do this as much as I can, and yeah, that's number 10 video right there. It's crazy how quick we got that done. It was supposed to be done a little bit quicker, but it's been a little bit of a hectic month for me here. But I'm trying to just do the best I can to get everything out there for you guys. So appreciate it again. Like, subscribe on these videos, and I'll be getting that vlog up from yesterday this weekend before I end up doing that long drive. So we'll get that up as soon as possible. But appreciate it, guys. Thank you for watching these videos, liking them and everything, and helping the channel grow slowly. Over time, I truly believe we can get there. Share the stuff with your friends if they want to trade, and we'll just keep going from there. Appreciate it.